Hello and welcome to the Well Done Foundation series. I've spent a week with them in northern Montana understanding how they monitor and cap abandoned oil wells. I'll be breaking this series up into sections so none of them gets too long. So be sure you subscribe to make sure you don't miss a section. Now, in this part, we're going to be looking at how the foundation started and the realization that this was even a problem. So let's get going, and I'll hand it off to Curtis.
So my name is Curtis Shuck, and I'm the chairman of the Well Done Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit formed specifically for education and action for the orphaned oil well problem in the United States and Canada. So just over a year ago, I was in this area buying grain for one of the local elevators at the port of northern Montana in Shelby. And I came across what appeared to be a derelict oil well, or a well that was in a state of disrepair. There was an immediate odor of gas, of methane gas or hydrogen sulfide gas. So you knew immediately, sort of organically, that there was a presence of gas. But what I didn't know was how strong of a presence that gas really was. And as I started to talk to the farmers and I started to look around, it became apparent that there was more than just a few. And as I was driving back to Bozeman that night, a 4-hour drive, I just couldn't get the image out of my mind of what I had seen that day. And the entire drive back to Bozeman was spent formulating a plan of what we could do about this. The first thing was, what are we going to call ourselves? And the notion of the brand of Well Done came to mind.
My name is Stacy Shuck, and I am Curtis Shuck's wife. And he called me all excited, and he goes, I have this great idea. It's going to be called Well Done. Not only did he have his name, he had the drawing, he had the concept all put together, and the vision, which was really cool.
My name's Carpenter, and do on the finance side with the Well Done Foundation. I do their books for them. And I first heard about it. I'm from Shelby, born and raised my whole life. I lived down in Bozeman. I got to be really more involved and see how they're closing these wells and eliminating these methane and carbon emissions that I honestly didn't know they were up here. And I've been, raised around my whole life. And I guess you didn't really know that, that they weren't properly sealed up. We know they're in the oil fields. You can smell the methane. We always called it the smell of money, but we had no idea that they were, they're open and kind of spewing out these gases that are not great for the environment. So it's literally just doing the right thing to do. And Curtis's vision for this is educating people on it, like we had to be as well. So it's spreading awareness and really helping, eliminate these emissions that are harmful to the environment.
My name is Rory Cowan, and I'm the Director of Business Development for Radicle. We're a Canadian firm, and we do sustainability consulting and carbon offset project development. We had been talking about this for probably the last 10 months and recognized that it was a problem and an opportunity for Radicle to solve. Curtis just brought the practical nature and the industry connections. You need somebody who knows what they're doing on the ground to do it. And Curtis is the perfect combination of understanding the problem and being able to speak to why it benefits the community, why it benefits the landowners, the surface landowners, the mineral rights owners. He's kind of a gem that you don't come across all the time.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kent, and I'm very excited to be part of the Well Done project. So I'm the vice president of the board, and I'm involved on many different fronts, mostly the brand storytelling part, using my background in fashion and environmental issues. When Curtis talked to me, it was so technical, and I really had trouble understanding it. So I physically had to come here, and it was overwhelming because initially, you see a hole in the ground and then he has a specialized camera that shows the emissions and you're just like, how can this be true? How can there be this beautiful landscape, the beautiful blue skies, mountains in the background, Glacier National Park, and holes emitting all of these gases? How can this be allowed to happen? I was really, for the first time, overwhelmed. as I'm getting a better understanding and know that we can do some things to stop it, it's a more positive feeling. But I couldn't understand how people could just abandon this, where I thought there should be some regulations or some financial aid. And then I met some of the farmers, the actual people who had their combines out and doing their fields. And I watched how these were obstacle courses of landscape that they had to go around and lost their opportunity to farm that land.
I'm Sam Stewart. Met Curtis. He is interested in capping some wells on my property. It's sounded like a great thing. To avoid farming around obstacles like that is a dream come true. As property owners, you can't really do anything with the stuff that belongs to the mineral rights folks.
I'm Serenabauer. I am Sam Stewart's daughter, and growing up, I spent a lot of time on the combine with my dad, so I know that this was kind of fun for him to see these obstacles be kind of removed and to also be doing something good for the planet, because we got to be good stewards of the earth. When I was younger, my dad would put me on the pump jacks when they were going, because they were like riding a really, really large seahorse. But other than that, yeah, the smell has always been super offensive. So I'm happy that this project is kind of getting rid of that smell. I remember it very vividly throughout my childhood, but it's gotten better throughout the years. So
She probably has a better sniffer than me. Not one of my better parenting moments, probably. But if I couldn't smell it, I could see that the gases were sterilizing the ground a little around the wells. So hopefully that'll be eliminated. When you can't grow grain, weeds will always grow.
He just started putting the whole deal together, making calls, meeting farmers, landowners, and next thing you know, he's like, okay, we're going to close our first well, which was, I believe, on Earth Day.
And here we are just a little over a year later, and we've plugged, this will be our third well. We have captured and eliminated more than 150,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, CO2e, based on the calculations of the American Carbon Registry. And we've got a lot more to do. We've only got about 3.2 million left now in our project across the U.S. But what an exciting time. And, what I love about this work is that it's really, for me, it's from the heart. It's something that provides an opportunity to give back and hopefully provide some benefit for future generations. And I guess my hope through this whole process is that by a project like this and the others that we're doing here in northern Montana, that we create a program or a baseline that allows others to join us in this fight, and we hope that we inspire others to be a part of the Well Done project across, not only in northern Montana, but across the U.S.
So that's a good primer on how things started. Hopefully it gives you a good lay of the land of the problem and what they're trying to do. Now, next week we'll be taking a look at their monitoring process and how they understand the flow of emissions out of these wells over a long period of time. Next, we'll bring the big toys out to actually do the nitty-gritty of the plugging and capping of these wells. So a lot more to come. On a personal note, like a lot of people in this video, I was shocked to find out that this was even a problem. When Zach from Now You Know reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to drive to Montana, I thought, no way. But then I clicked on the link and understood the problem that they were trying to tackle. And I thought, well, this is the exact kind of thing that I want to be covering. So I hope you find it interesting too. Now, in full disclosure, Curtis did pay for a few of my meals out there. And I did also get a bandana and this sweet hat, as well as a framed photo. Now, on the other hand, I did pay for my entire trip out there, paid for the hotel room and everything, all myself. So my opinions are my own, but because I don't have a fact-checking department other than Google, I will be taking their word on statistics and things. But if you have a question or a concern or something doesn't make sense to you, and you want a little clarification on that, please leave a comment down below. And maybe if there's enough of them or some good questions we need answers to, maybe at the end of this series I can do a Q&A with Curtis or maybe some of the other board members over Zoom and get some answers to your questions and any of mine that might come up. So stick around, and there's a lot more to come, and I hope you find it as fascinating as I do. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.